We finished building the back-end components. Now, let's build an intelligent document processing application where a purchaser can submit an invoice that they receive from a supplier. A business technologist builds the IDP application using the process capability in Oracle integration. The application allows a purchaser to upload a document through a web form. An AI service extracts data from the invoice and provides it to the approver, who reviews the invoice and approves it. If approved, we invoke the Publish Invoice event integration. This demo illustrates several use cases and critical capabilities. Here are the top 3 takeaways. The process application orchestrates the OCI Document Understanding AI service to extract and validate data from an invoice. It establishes an approval workflow that lets the department manager review and approve the expense. And finally, the business technologist can discover and invoke integrations from the projects that are shared with them. We add a process application named Invoice Processing. Oracle integration supports both structured and dynamic case management style processes. In this case, we create a structured process named Process Invoice. The first step is to configure how the process starts. Oracle integration supports starting process applications from an API, schedule, or user interface form. We start our process using a form that the purchaser can upload invoices to. Let's create the form now, using the built-in low-code form builder. Optionally, you can create forms using Oracle Visual Builder or other popular web development frameworks. We call our form Invoice. You can see the full palette of activities for form design, including the OCI Document Understanding AI service, which we select. To configure the activity, we just need to choose the document that we expect to upload, in this case, an invoice. We don't need to know how to work with OCI Document Understanding at all. We simply choose from the list of pre-trained document models or easily create our own without input from a data scientist. After we select a document type, the schema for the underlying AI model is automatically created. We can choose to automatically create the user interface components for the invoice data too. Of course, we can customize the form UI as much as we want. We preview the form to test the document data extraction. Now that our form is defined, we finish configuring the start activity for the process application. We want to add an approval task for our department manager to review and approve the invoice. We want a user interface similar to the invoice form, which displays the invoice document image and data, but we must tailor the form for the approver. We can easily do that by creating a new form presentation from a clone of our invoice form. We call this presentation Approval. From here, we can customize the approval form. For example, the approver doesn't need to upload documents, and they don't need to update any invoice fields. So we hide the document upload component and mark the user interface fields as read-only. We complete the configuration of our approval task by selecting the invoice form and approval presentation. The process application requires a branch, one path for approval, the other for rejection. When an approver rejects a purchase, an email is sent to the purchaser. When they approve, we invoke the Publish Invoice event integration. The business technologist doesn't need any programming skills to call an integration. To discover and use an integration, all we have to do is select its project and then the integration itself. The manager of the project made it discoverable to the process builder using the built-in security and governance features in a project. With the connection in place, we simply drag the integration to the approval flow. Now we can map the data extracted by the OCI Document Understanding AI service to the Publish Invoice event. We've finished building the process application. Now, it's time to secure access to it by assigning roles. Here, we're choosing one person to manage it, but you can give access to multiple people or groups of users. Finally, we need to activate the process application, which we can do in just a couple clicks. Activation creates a snapshot, so it's easy to roll back in case future changes introduce regressions. Let's do a quick recap. We illustrated several use cases and critical capabilities. The key takeaways are the ability for a business technologist to orchestrate AI services, configure approval workflows, and discover and invoke integrations from the projects that are shared with them.